Locks tend to thicken up first, and then they tend to slim down. That's what I've noticed. Have you noticed that too? What do you use to moisturize locks? What I use to moisturize my locks, I use natural products. I use olive oil primarily and coconut oil as my base, like the carrier oil. Then I tend to add peppermint oil, cinnamon oil, and clove oil. Those are the ones I've been using like in the past couple months. Those essential oils I mix into the carrier oils and I use on my scalp, and then I rake into my hair. I usually don't directly apply oil to my locks. I just oil my scalp and then I just carry the excess throughout my locks like this. Just because I just don't like to have my hair too greasy. I don't want to use too much oil, you know. Do you take hair vitamins because your locks grow really fast? No, I do not. I've never taken hair vitamins. I just follow my own tips. Check out this video if you haven't seen it already. I just follow my own tips, you know, which I have gathered through my research on YouTube and on Google and hearsay, and that's what works for me. How often do you shampoo? Do you wait a certain amount of time to preserve a retwist? I don't shampoo my hair more frequently than once every 2 weeks, but sometimes I would let water flow through my hair and scalp once a week. Sometimes I don't have any kind of set in stone routine. I don't wait a certain amount of time to wash my hair because of my retwist on the usual. The only time I would do that is if I want to maintain a style for a certain occasion that is a while from now, you know, or a while from the time, you know what I mean? Yeah, but usually that's not the case. I'll just do my hair again. When do the lumps in the locks go away? Now, these questions could be referring to one of two things. Lumps, like the ones you get when you're initially locking your hair, the buds, those go away as your hair lock, and that is basically where your hair is starting to lock, in that lock. The rest of your lock is going to fluff up and camouflage it, and then you know our locks get thicker, then they get slimmer, so then eventually they'll slim down and be pretty uniform. But some of us have lumps in our mature locks, and this is which is the other thing that this question could be in reference to. In that case, I can't tell you. Everyone's hair is different. If you have lumps in your mature locks, they may not go away, they may go away. It's just up to your hair and up to your, you know, maintenance routine. If you don't like them, I would just suggest that when you do your retwist or your interlocking or whatever, however you maintain your roots, I would just recommend that you palm roll in the problem area where the lumps are to help distribute that lump so that it fades away, you know what I mean? Like, it blends out over time, of course. When does the frizziness go away? It doesn't. It doesn't. Not for everybody. For most people, you experience frizziness throughout your entire lock journey. Now, the frizziness may minimize over time, but it's probably not going to go away altogether. If you are still in the beginning of your lock journey and you have frizziness, that's just because your hair's not locked yet. As your hair locks up, the frizziness will go away, but don't expect excuse me, don't expect for frizziness to be a thing of the past, because it will be a thing of your lock life. If you want to minimize frizziness, when you retwist, make sure you palm roll the length of the lock, and you may want to incorporate gel. What kind of dye do you use? Now, I don't have one dye that I go to, although for the past year I was like stuck on textures and tones, And I did try Garnier, I think, once, and I used to dip and dabble with Dark and Lovely. Yeah, I use a bunch of dyes. You know, I already explained what dye I already have in my hair right now, but just in general, I don't have any preference. I just ordered some dye, I believe, Cream of Nature. So yeah, I like to try different things. Do you have any tips for dyeing locks? Yeah, I have a ton. Check out my playlist. I think I have a whole playlist. Where do you live? I feel like I talk about this a lot, so when people ask me that, I guess they just don't watch my videos or they don't follow me. But I am from New York. I am from Brooklyn. Do you trim? No, I don't. I have yet to trim in my entire lock journey. Yeah. My ends are pretty healthy, so that's why I don't do that. Do you tint your brows? No, I don't tint my brows. If you ever see my brows looking red, it's because I use a lip liner as eyeliner. I mean, as yeah, eyeliner, brow filler. How's your family doing? This question was really sweet. Thanks for asking. I'm sure that it was asked because my granny, my paternal granny, passed away late March. I had the honors of reading her obituary at the service. My family is doing well. She lived very long. She was 91. We're doing well. Would you ever get an undercut? I'm guessing that's when you like shave the back of your head, you know, and it looks really hot when you have like updos. No, I wouldn't. It looks hot, like Pretty Poison got that, and it looks hot on her. But you know what a difference is between her locks and my locks? Her locks are so much thicker. When I say thicker, I mean like she has a lot more locks on her head than me, so she can afford to cut off that many locks. I don't think that I can. It turns out I only have 100 locks, which is another question. How many locks do you have? I thought I had like over 120. I only have like 105. I don't know how I had that miscount, but yeah, I have 105 locks. And no, I wouldn't do the undercut because I don't think that it would look good on me. I think that that I could actually use some more locks on my head. I don't need to get rid of any. How do you deal with negative comments? No, but for real, at the end of the day, like sometimes like you can see in the comments or like in life or wherever, I may argue and stuff, but that's just when I take my emotion over intellect, you know, on the spot. But then I sit back and then I get smart, intellect over emotion, and I realize what's really going on here. People have been jealous of me my entire life. I get it. I've always had haters, and that will never change. You should be used to that by now. You should know how to respond, Keisha, and the correct response is no response. They want what you have. They want to be you. You know, they're miserable, and they want you to be miserable too. And they're mad that you're doing it and you're doing it well. I just remember that I get so much more love. Don't be mad because I'm doing me better than you doing you. What is love, light, and locks? Love, light, and locks, that's the message that I want to send with you in every video that I make. Just when you think of Keisha Charmaine, when you think of me, I want you to think of love, light, and locks. Now, love, the love that we have for ourselves, for God, for our friends, for our family, for our people, for our significant others. Love. Light, enlightenment, knowledge of self, knowledge of God, knowledge of the truth, seeking the truth. Clarity, light, locks. Love, light, and locks. I am Love, Light, and Locks. That is my brand. Stay tuned. Now, last but not least, this is probably my most frequently asked question, or at least it's up there. Have you ever bleached your locks? No, I have not. The way I got that blonde was by dyeing it blonde over and over and over again, and eventually got lighter and lighter and lighter. So you can do that. That blonde that I used to do that was 7G Lightest Blonde by Clairol Textures and Tones. So stay tuned for my 4-year lock update, which will be coming up later this week, God willing. Have a good one. Love, light, and locks.